Fubara, the suspended governor of River State, will soon return to his seat. But before he returns, he has been given the devil's alternative. We are looking at the bitter pill that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave Simi Fubara to swallow before he can return. And then look at it, whether Nigeria is a democracy or we are just a huge democratic joke around the world. That is what we're going to examine in this video. The devil's alternative, the bitter pill that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu forced Simi Fubara to swallow in order to be restored to his seat, a seat in which he was democratically elected by the people of River State, just like Tinubu was elected, quote and unquote, by the people. So we're going to look at what gave Tinubu the powers to administer such a bitter pill on Fubara in a country that claimed to be a federation. Simi Fubara, as you know, will soon return. Already it's common knowledge that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had a meeting with the estranged godfather of Simi Fubara, Nyesom, Wike, the former governor of the state and now minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and Simi Fubara himself, and the Speaker of the suspended River State House of Assembly. Together, they have resolved that Simi Fubara will come back because Simi Fubara has reached an agreement with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presiding. And it has been reported by the cable newspaper, cited by Sahara reporters, the bitter pill that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu handed down to Simi Fubara for him to return. Now, some of those pills ordinarily are unpalatable. It shouldn't be administered on anyone, but it has been administered to him. And from the video coming out of that meeting, it was obvious that the patient has no alternative. He was given the devil's alternative, and he has no choice but to swallow the pill, the bitter pill. According to what we learned, the condition that he was given, number one condition, was that he will not seek a second term in office. He will be returned only to complete his 4-year tenure, and is it. That is a fundamental violation of Simi Fubara's right to contest the election in 2027. Nobody has that power. The Constitution has not invested that power on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or anyone for that matter, to stop anyone from seeking re-election or for contesting for election, except the person was in violation of sections of the Constitution that talked about that if you are a convict, you cannot contest for the office of the president. But as far as we know, Fubara has not been accused of being a convict or an ex-convict. Because if he was an ex-convict, he wouldn't even be allowed to contest. Or even if he contests, his opponent would have used that to take the mandate away from him, from the courts. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in returning Fubara, was alleged to have said that he has to jettison his second term ambition, that he will not contest for re-election. That is a fundamental violation of the Constitution and of the right of Simi Fubara. Why I find this very troubling is that this is the same Fubara that was telling his supporters that they should stop campaigning for him for his return. That who even told them that he's interested in returning to that seat again? Who even told them that he wants to go back? That his spirit has already left the government house. Was he saying all those things just for show? Because if he was sincere that he was not, that his spirit has left the government house, why would he allow his fundamental human rights to be so trampled upon by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling him that he has no right, that one of the conditions is that he should not contest? Can President Bola Ahmed Tinubu take that kind of bitter pill when he was governor of Lagos State? If Obasanjo, as president of Nigeria, had told him a condition that involved that he, Tinubu, should not contest for second term. But it appears that Simi Fubara has agreed to swallow this bitter pill to the chagrin of his supporters. Now, it's up to Simi Fubara to adhere or not to adhere. Even if they put a gun on your head, you are signing this kind of agreement that violated your right, you reserve the right to jettison it at the right time. So we all be watching Simi Fubara, whether he will chicken out if the people of Rivers State want him to do second term and say he will not do because somebody in Abuja told him not to. We are watching. But this kind of situation, we can only hear this in Russia or in China, not in Western democracy that we copy, especially the presidential system of government we copy from the United States. Now, another bitter pill he was told to swallow was that he has to make sure that Nyesom Wike take control of all the local government councils. That Nyesom Wike will take charge of the local government council. What that means that it is only Nyesom Wike's candidates that will take over the local government election. So when the local government election will be conducted, in fact, I think that the local government election will be conducted before Simi Fubara will return. I don't see him returning before the expiration. Don't forget, the state of emergency was declared on March 28. It's going to be 6 months by September or thereabout. You can see how they are desperate to conduct local government election. EBAS, the sole administrator they appointed, the sole administrator that the Nigerian Bar Association said was an illegality, has already submitted the list of the members of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. The idea there is to conduct the election fixing the local government chairman before Simi Fubara return. And Simi Fubara can do nothing about it. That is a bitter pill because the local government election was the fundamental reason why they were scared of Simi Fubara. Don't forget that in October 5th, 2024, Simi Fubara, against all odds, conducted local government election and installed local government chairman. That was the so-called structure that Nyesom Wike was banking on in Rivers State. And that was why they wanted to tear down the whole of Rivers State to make sure that that local government election is quashed. If you remember, when the Supreme Court ruled on the Rivers matter, and was said to have recognized the Martin Amehule-led State House of Assembly, one of the first things that Martin Amehule-led Assembly did on resumption was to summon the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission chairman to stop him from conducting election, because after the Supreme Court nullified the election of the local government in Rivers State, the one that was conducted on October 5, 2024, Simi Fubara was getting ready to conduct fresh one, the one that will be acceptable to the Supreme Court of Nigeria and whoever. They stopped. They were on the verge of stopping that. They summoned the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission chairman, because they know at the heart of the so-called structure that Wike was fighting for is local government. And Simi Fubara himself knows it. That was the game changer for Simi Fubara when he was able to conduct that election despite all odds. Now, he has swallowed the bitter pill that local government be handed over to Nyesom, from what the report said. Then other things that was said, other agreement that was reached was that the 27 lawmakers will be paid all their outstanding allowances and emoluments. Of course, those are natural things that will have to be paid. And then that the lawmakers will in turn drop all impeachment charges against Simi Fubara. And I have said it before that it was difficult for them to impeach Simi Fubara because this Chief Judge of Rivers State was not on their side. But Simi Fubara himself appeared to have accepted it, because not long ago he was even thankful to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for restoring peace in Rivers State and saving him from being impeached, which was not true. I have done a video to show that he could not have been impeached when the state chief judge was on his side. And it was out of that frustration that the state chief judge was not on their side that they declared state of emergency. For those who don't know, let me remind you. When Martin Amehule and co, the lawmakers that defected from APC, PDP to APC, and now claim they didn't defect again, when they were restored by the Supreme Court, one of the things they did was to accuse the state chief judge of Rivers State, Simon Amade. They accused him that he falsified his age. So they used that to write a petition against him to the DSS, Department of State Service, that DSS should investigate him. In other words, they want him to be removed because he was a stumbling block to the impeachment of Simi Fubara. But they were reminded at that time by the Nigerian Bar Association that only National Judicial Council can discipline an erring judge and not the DSS. That was the problem they faced. Okay? So that's it about that of impeachment of Simi Fubara. But now, from what was agreed in this agreement, they will no longer demand to impeach him. And of course, the most troubling, as I said earlier on, was that he ceases to have the right to seek for re-election. And if you look at all this, you know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who claimed to have fought for democracy, has done a lot of harm to Nigeria's democracy. if indeed this report by the cable newspaper, citing credible sources inside the villa and Sarah reporters, it means he has done so much harm to Nigeria's democracy. It means that Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last election, was right when he raised the alarm that democracy is dying in Nigeria. I don't know what to think about the devil's alternative that was given to Simi Fubara. If you are Simi Fubara, would you have taken the bitter pill in this devil's alternative? Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.